If you're in the Denver suburbs thinking about selling this spring, especially if you're doing this on your own, this is not the month to list. This is the month to prepare. Because sellers who walk into April confident start making decisions now in February. And what you do right now will determine whether a spring sale feels calm or chaotic. But before we start talking inspections and paint colors and maybe even curb appeal, we have to start with something simpler. Let me ask you a question. You love your home, right? You've lived in it. You've made memories in it. You've probably painted at least one wall a color you were very confident about at the time. And I'm guessing you want buyers to love it too, because, buyers who love your home, well, they write you offers that you love to accept. But here's the real question. What exactly are they going to love? Your accent wall? The built-in cubbies in the mudroom? That light fixture that you hunted down 3 states away? Nope. The first thing buyers fall in love with isn't your stuff. It's your space. They don't walk in and go, wow, look at all the photos on the gallery wall. They think, can I breathe in here? Can I see myself here? Does this have enough room for my lifestyle? Buyers don't fall in love with square footage. They fall in love with your space. And space is created long before the listing goes live. That's where the 4 Ds come in. They are the something simpler I mentioned earlier. They're the foundation of every home sale, and I call them the 4 Ds. You've probably heard of them before. They're not new. They're not trendy. They're like the 4 sides of a box. Each one supports the structure. Take one away, and the whole thing just gets wobbly. Have you used them before? Because here's the truth. Using one won't work when it comes time to sell your Denver home. They support each other. You can tidy up, but if it still feels like your house, not theirs, the buyers won't connect. You can clean it till it shines, but if there's still too much in the room, it still feels smaller than it is. This isn't about perfection, it's about perception. And perception is what drives offers. And once perception is working in your favor, that's how we talk about protecting your leverage. But you have to start using the 4 Ds, and D number 1 is declutter. See, I knew you'd heard about that one before, but let's redefine it. Decluttering is not emptying out your whole house in one weekend and questioning your life choices, especially if you've lived in your home 20 years or longer. Decluttering is editing. It's looking at a room and asking, what's helping this space feel bigger and what's just living here out of habit? Start small, 1 drawer, 1 shelf, 1 corner of the garage, because overwhelm usually comes from trying to do the entire house in a single Saturday. We are not going to do that. We are creating breathing room, and breathing room is what buyers feel when they walk into your home. Oh, and if decluttering feels like that mountain you've been avoiding, I actually put together a simple step-by-step guide you can follow room by room. Nothing extreme, just steady progress. I'll link it below so you don't have to figure it out alone. Now, once you've created that breathing room, we move into D number 2. D number 2 is depersonalize. And I want to be very careful here. This is not about stripping your home of your personality or all its warmth. It's about softening your personal stamp just enough so somebody else can see themselves living there. You're not erasing your story. You're turning down the volume on and inviting them to come in and create their own. Family photos? Yeah, you don't need 27 on one wall. Your curated collection is something very specific. Maybe let a few pieces rest for a season. I once had a client who removed almost everything and then called me and said, feel like I'm living in a model home and it's depressing. That's not the goal. The goal is neutral, not sterile. Inviting, not empty. We want buyers to think, oh, this home feels nice, not I wonder who lives here. Now, once you've created breathing room and softened those personal touches, we move into D number 3, deep clean. And no, buyers aren't walking in with white gloves, but dust speaks. It whispers to the buyer things like, well, if this is what you're looking at now, what's going to bite you in 3 months after you move in? That's the part we want to avoid. This isn't about perfection, it's about confidence. Carpets should feel fresh. Floors should shine, not blind anybody, just shine. Windows should let in light instead of filtering through your cat's nose prints from 2009. Baseboards, light switches, ceiling fans, these are little things buyers notice subconsciously. They may not comment on them, but they feel them. And when a home feels clean, buyers assume it's well cared for. Care supports price. And remember, in a market where inventory is building, buyers compare. We want them to compare yours favorably. And finally, that brings us to D number 4, donate. Now, this one isn't technically required for a listing, but emotionally, it might be the most important. When you've lived somewhere for 20 years, things accumulate. Some are useful, some are sentimental, and some of them you haven't touched in a decade. Donation creates momentum. It lightens the house and it lightens you. And donation doesn't always mean dropping everything off at Goodwill. It might mean passing furniture on to a family member, giving kitchen items to a friend starting over, supporting a local charity that helps women or families in transition. There's something powerful about choosing where your things go instead of just storing them for someday. And that intentional release creates forward momentum. And homes that feel ready, show ready. Plus, future buyers can feel that shift. Homes that feel lighter, show better. And again, not because they're empty, but because they feel ready. So here's the big takeaway. Preparing your home for sale in Denver doesn't start with listing photos, it starts with space. The 4 Ds aren't glamorous, but they're powerful. They create clarity, they create momentum. and they give you control before that market speeds up. February is not the month to rush, it's the month to position yourself. Now, once your home feels lighter and ready, that's when we move into the strategic side. Inspections, paint decisions, curb appeal, permits, warranties, all the things that protect your leverage once it actually hits the market. But that deserves its own conversation, because protecting your leverage is different than preparing your space. And I'll walk you through that in next week's video. For now, your job is going to be simple. Start with one drawer, one shelf, one step at a time. Your home prep is done long before April ever arrives. If we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Peggy Durstoff with Live Denver Suburbs, powered by HomeSmart, and I help women over 50 navigate selling and buying without pressure or regret, especially when they're doing it solo or stepping into a new chapter. If you'd like the full 4Ds checklist so you can move through this steadily, not frantically, I've linked that below. And when you're ready to talk strategy and leverage, be sure to check out next week's video so you're fully prepared before you list. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.